Hello, welcome to the Phil Show. Imagine being the valedictorian of your class. That for me would be a pipe dream, but it isn't for our next very special guest. Kendra Santiago, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly that and more.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You are the valedictorian of what class where?
Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, class of 2025.
You stand out from every other student. Why?
I achieved valedictorian, obviously, which means like my GPA was the highest out of my entire class. So, yeah.
Does that happen with luck, or do you have to work at it?
No, of course you have to work hard to achieve good grades like all throughout high school. So.
And what gave you that inspiration to do just that?
Yeah, I've always been someone that's like reached for the stars, and that's always like reached to I know my potential and I want to reach my full potential. So like working hard at that, and I've always been pretty like academically gifted. So just being able to use those talents and maintain good grades to be top of my class.
Do you have a good imagination?
I would say so.
So once you reach the stars, where to from there?
My future holds a lot, hopefully. I want to be a criminal defense attorney.
That's so awesome. Just the idea of you defending people who probably couldn't get a good defense otherwise.
Yeah, there are so many issues with the justice system as it stands. A lot of people are going through unfair trials because they're not able to receive good representation. So a lot of innocent people are actually being sent to jail, which is extremely sad. But I'm hoping to eventually work towards a reform of the system to get rid of those inequalities and make it more fair for everyone.
What's the most unfair part of it that so far that you've seen?
I would say definitely the disparities between low-income communities versus obviously people who can afford better legal aid and stuff like that. So people from low-income communities who may have to rely on public defenders and stuff aren't receiving adequate legal representation in court. So that's causing them to have unfair trials and not necessarily have their full side of the story heard. So.
It used to be that only those who could afford to go to college would become lawyers, to pay the big bucks. Mm-hmm. Do you believe public education ought to open up more universities specifically to train future defense lawyers and such?
Yeah, definitely. I think higher education is obviously, most of it's very expensive still, but there are better options for people now. BCC is now free, right? And other community colleges in Mass. And beyond that, even state schools are much more affordable than they used to be. So that definitely opens up opportunities for people from low-income communities who just want to represent the communities that they came from. So.
But you want to do more than just represent. You want to help defend and right a wrong. Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone deserves the right to a fair trial, no matter if they committed a crime, no matter how serious their crime was. Everyone deserves the right to a fair trial. So just being able to make sure their story is heard in court and let justice serve from there, right?
You seem to have a hurt behind that. Am I picking up on something behind those thoughts? What is it?
So I haven't experienced anything necessarily family-wise, but obviously back in 2020, I was in 8th grade, and seeing everything that was happening with George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement, and that definitely struck a passion within me. Because even my 8th grade self was so outraged, right? I'm my eyes were open to what was actually going on, and the fact that, oh, this is so unfair. how certain people are getting treated versus others, right? And it just opened my eyes up to all the inequalities in the criminal justice system as a whole. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So in the 8th grade, you started turning in the direction, and now you finished. Where did you go to school, by the way?
So elementary and middle school, I went to Holy Family, Holy Name.
Applause, applause, applause.
Yeah.
And then?
They unfortunately disbanded and now merged with St. James, St. John's. But after Holy Family, I went to Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, and I plan to continue higher education at Harvard University. So.
Is it a scholarship? Is it? It is a designation of honor and applause and appreciation. Are you going to Harvard as the first vocational student in the history of the school?
Yes, I am the first student at Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech to be accepted into Harvard, so that was definitely a huge honor for me, and I held it with so much pride.
What an inspiration you are, especially to other women.
Yep. Yeah, I hope to be, especially for students at Greater New Bedford who might have thought before, like, oh no, I can't get into an Ivy because I go to a vocational school, right? So they may have thought, oh, those dreams are out of reach. So I would love to set the example for that and just be like, oh, you actually can do it. You can succeed no matter your circumstances. So
that was my last question. You just gave what? No. Define success.
I mean, I think everyone's definition of success is very different. Right?
What's yours?
For me, success falls in line with happiness, right? I want to be at the point in my life where I am happy with the work I'm doing. I feel like it's making a difference in my community, in the world. And I'm happy, right? I'm financially stable, my family's stable, right? And I'm just happy. That's success for me in the future.
There goes the other question. I was going to ask what makes you happy. Well, folks, I don't know if you need a premonition, but I bet when you come back from this quick break, we're going to be even more mesmerized by a fascinating, fascinating story of Kendra Santiago. We'll be right back. More of this amazing discussion in a minute. But first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. Thank you so much. Let me thank the good folks at iGreen Landscape, your one-stop solution for your residential and commercial property management. Whether it's snowing or whether you're mowing, let Team iGreen handle your landscape and hardscape year-round. From spring cleanups to commercial snow management, I recommend the good folks at iGreen Landscape. Call for your complimentary consultation today. Hi, welcome back to the Phil Show now. We're speaking with Kendra Santiago, and already I can tell that you are different in a lot of ways. What is your definition of being different?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't want to follow the crowd, right? In most scenarios, you want to have something that sets yourself apart.
Yeah.
So being different can just be simple, like, personality changes or, like, simple ways in, like, what you aspire to do and what you aspire to be and how you go about those aspirations, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, being different to me is being awesome. Just being yourself, and that's very important.
Did it take a support system, Kendra?
100%.
Like
my
how?
family is definitely my biggest support system. So
How so? What did
my
they-
mom and my dad at home, and then I have an older brother who has always been a role model to me, and he's always been someone I've looked up to and has supported me both academically and in everything I do. But my parents have also just been there for me and given me as much love and support I've needed to prosper.
I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Isn't it also amazing that their love and their support will continually help guide you?
Yeah, no, for sure. They're gonna be in my life forever. So
What does your older brother do?
He currently actually studies at MIT, and he studies computer science. So he's only like a year and a half older than me, but
Tell me how he inspires you as well.
I've always been in like some sort of like one-sided competition with him where
Who wins mostly?
I mean, he's always like his accomplishments and his like he's amazing, right? So
Is
his
he?
accomplishments have always pushed me to work harder for myself.
Yeah.
And to achieve as much as he has, if not more, right?
Yep.
Like
yep.
he was salutatorian of his class S thing. I tried to one up him. And be
Oh
next to
my
him.
God.
Yeah, we both got into Harvard, right?
Oh.
He chose not to go and go to MIT for computer science, but
There
yeah,
is a competition, huh?
yeah, for sure. Even like with sports and stuff. Yeah, but it's all healthy competition, right? It's all something that just has made me want to push to be better, right?
Wow.
So,
You were just mentioning sports too.
yeah.
The balancing act.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Bring it on.
It definitely was difficult. I mean, balancing, like, obviously, I do high school sports, but then I also do club soccer at, like, a really competitive level where we're traveling, like, weekends to go play in, like, New York and, like, Connecticut and Pennsylvania, even, like, tournaments in, like, Florida, Virginia, like, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a huge time commitment. Like, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love the sport and love my teammates, right? It was definitely a huge time commitment, especially balancing that with academics and extracurriculars.
Right.
But it was so worth it, right? Just all the memories, all the people I've met, it was so worth it. And I love soccer, right?
Yes.
That's the sport I play. I play
Yes.
soccer, and then I also do track at high school, but soccer is my main sport, so I love it so much. But balancing it can definitely be difficult. But
You know what else is going to be difficult?
Yeah.
Answering this question. What has the game of soccer taught you personally, Kendra?
a lot. I mean, it's definitely given me discipline. First off, just having to show up to practice every day and give 100% for yourself, for your teammates, for your coach. It's taught me, again, a bigger support system, right?
Yes.
With your teammates and with your coach,
Yes.
to have to rely on people, right? You're like, you can't just do everything by yourself on the soccer field, right? You need teammates that pass you the ball, that trust you enough to pass you the ball, right?
Yes.
So it's taught me to have sort of like some sort of reliance on other people and to trust that they're able to also help me and help lift me up. It's taught me communication, being able to communicate with your teammates in a positive way.
Yes. Yes.
Right, always trying to lift them up. It's taught me leadership. I was fortunate enough to be able to captain my high school team.
Wow.
So it's definitely taught me leadership, being able to captain such like a great group of girls and being able to show up to practice every day and lead warm-ups and help coaches and help communicate that, being able to like be a leader in that way. Being a leader in sports is so much different than being a leader outside of it,
Of course.
just because of how like close the team is and how you really form a bond with such an amazing group of girls. So
And what does that kind of nurturing do for your confidence?
A
Look at the
positive-
smile.
I love soccer so much.
You have a great smile.
Honestly,
Yes.
your confidence prospers in such a positive environment, right? And you see that with like some old teams, right, where there might be like a little negativity and you tend to lose your confidence, right, to the point where like the sport no longer becomes fun anymore. And I see that in a lot of young athletes, including myself for some years, right?
Yep.
But then you go back to a positive environment and suddenly your confidence is there again. You love the sport, you love playing, you love showing up every day. And that's what helps you play better and be better, right? Confidence is so important in sports.
What did I tell you about being a winner? And we're going to find out more about this very, very fascinating, wonderful person, Kendra Santiago, when we return. More of this amazing discussion in a minute, but first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. If you're ready to finally make your biggest dreams a reality, let my friend Jared Methia at Milestone Mortgage Solutions get you your next mortgage or your next home loan. Jared is a trusted local loan officer who works with some of the most reputable companies.
Jared reminds me if you're a first-time home buyer or maybe you're looking to refinance. He says, go to him. And I, too, recommend Jared Methia, providing you with a stress-free experience. Call Jared today for a competitive rate, for quick approvals, and for one-of-a-kind personalized service. That's Jared Methia at Milestone Mortgage Solutions. You can now watch The Phil Show whenever you'd like. Like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. And catch us wherever you catch your favorite podcasts. Like, follow, and please share The Phil Show now with a friend. The Phil Show now. Welcome back to The Phil Show. I've been doing radio, TV, you name it, all of that stuff for 58 years. And every time I sit across from somebody like Kendra Santiago, something magical happens. Your inspiration, your influence hits me. I can feel, What future achievements do you have? What you haven't even begun. But what future?
Yeah, so I mean, I'll be going to Harvard to study government. And I hope to I also have the opportunity to potentially play soccer at a Division I level, so that's amazing. Beyond that, I will take my LSAT and go to law school, of course, and study for another 3 years to become a criminal defense attorney. From there, we'll see where it takes me, right? Even like potentially being able to like work in the government, like hold office, that could be a potential future. Hopefully America gets to the point where they are ready to elect a Black woman into office. But
how has that affected your decision now to get into criminal justice? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, again, America is at a place, obviously we are much better than we've been like years ago, and we keep on improving, but it's such slow improvements, right? We are still at a place where there's so much hate in the world.
Why?
I wish I could answer that question.
What do you think it is, Kendra?
I mean, obviously, it goes back from generation to generation where there are families with so much hate and they pass that information on generation to generation. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate because everyone is equal.
Absolutely.
Right? Everyone is equal. So it's unfortunate how people still think, but I'm hoping eventually we get to a much more peaceful, inclusive, equal world.
What are some of your personal challenges with that very issue?
I mean, obviously, I am a Black woman. I'm Cape Verdean. My parents were immigrants, right? So I know how the world is, right? I know what stereotypes I'm held to.
Back up. I know how the world is.
Yeah.
Translate that from Americanese into...
I'm prepared to understand that everyone may not like me or appreciate me, or even just due to the fact that I'm a woman or due to the color of my skin, right? I'm aware that some people hold so much hate in their hearts, but I don't let that affect me, right? I know who I am. I know who I am beyond stereotypes that they apply to Black women. I know who I am. I know that I am intelligent. I know that I am athletic. I know that I will succeed, right? So just these positive affirmations help me look past that and just focus on who's there to support me, who's there to appreciate me, and who's there to help me move forward in life.
So it's just the opposite of what you said. Because of them, you are now going to blossom and evolve and grow, and so maybe there was a reason for you to choose this very, very profession? I can see you in the future as a judge.
I could potentially see that too.
Where did you get your sense of justice?
I mean, I've always had it, right? I've always seen equality in everybody, right? No matter how you grew up, no matter where you come from, no matter what you look like, no matter what, like everyone is equal. And everyone deserves equal opportunity, and everyone is on a path that will lead them to exactly where they need to be, right? So no matter what, just living with that. And my parents also taught me to treat everyone equally, right? And school, like Holy Family, being a Catholic school, it definitely reinforced that, right? Where everyone is equal. So
The big test is going to be when you get out into the real world. And that's where, you know, I know too. But you know what? Because of leaders like yourself, Kendra, and like your brother, things get done.
I hope so.
The smile is absolutely amazing. It's a smile that not only shows confidence, it's a smile that radiates goodness. And we're going to be right back in a moment to continue our conversation with the valedictorian of the class of 2025 at Greater New Bedford Voc-Tech, Kendra Santiago. We'll be right back. More of this amazing discussion in a minute. But first, please like, follow, and share The Phil Show now. Thank you so much.
Carefree Homes is an award-winning home improvement company. It's been family-owned and operated since 1978. For over 46 years of business and thousands of satisfied customers, this company is A+ rated. It's an accredited member of the Better Business Bureau. And listen to this, no payments until the project is completed. How's that? Financing options are available for roofing, siding, windows, doors, decks, you name it. CarefreeHomesCompany.com. Call for a free quote. 508-997-1111. CarefreeHomesCompany.com.
Welcome back to The Phil Show now. It's an honor to have learned a little bit about a fantastic human being, Kendra Santiago, who has earned her way from elementary school, middle school, high school, to Harvard. But the first student, ladies and gentlemen, to graduate from vocational high school in New Bedford with that, a Harvard acceptance. Absolutely. How many?
Surreal.
It is unreal?
Yeah.
When you go to bed at night, can you feel the love that emanates from all of these congratulations and
For
all of
sure.
these hugs?
I mean, I still get congratulations, right? And I found out like 2 months ago.
So
it's definitely like, it fills my heart with so much pride
yeah.
to have people, like even just people I haven't even met before, to recognize me and be like, oh, I saw an article about you, right?
Yes.
Like it's definitely so humbling to like know that there are so many people out there that are so proud of me. So
Today, I gave a presentation about Career Day at a middle school. And when I mentioned that I was going to sit down and have a conversation with you later on, especially the girls, they took notice. I said, that's right. Top of her class, great athlete, wonderful human being. It's achievable, isn't it?
I would love to serve as that inspiration for future generations, right? Just to say, like, you can do it.
So how do you teach inspiration?
Yeah, I mean, just like starting with people, like even like my younger cousins, right? I try to set like a good example and be a good role model for them. But that even extends to just like kids I meet, right? Like our younger generations are the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
right? We are the people,
Absolutely.
are the future, and just motivating them to be, even just myself, like serving as an example
Yes.
for them to be like, even if it's hard, like push through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need goals for yourself that you want to try to achieve, right? Have those higher goals because you can do it. So just have faith in yourself.
Half of my successes have been based on failures.
Very true, yeah. Everyone will make mistakes.
For some reason, I never wanted to learn. Come on. It's easy if you just follow the rule, but no. Philzy had to do it his way. When people do that, does it show that they want to do things in just a different way, just to express their own fingerprint? Or what do you think of people who are rebels? And
I mean, I volunteer at something called South Coast Youth Courts, right?
What's that?
So basically, it's a program that helps delinquent, like youth, students, stuff like that, that have been referred to by their school resource officer or even like juvenile court, right? Because they've committed like a crime, a low-level crime. Like they either like brought a weapon to school, or they were caught vaping, or they were like a habitual school offender, so they constantly like act up in class or stuff like that. And they go through this program that will try to help rehabilitate them, right? And we've seen so many success stories where it's like you don't have to be defined by that mistake that you made, especially as a kid, right? You don't have to be defined by that, because you can change your life around before high school, even during high school, right? You can start getting on the right track and just move beyond that mistake. So as a program, we definitely help try to reinforce that in them and rehabilitate them in the best way possible. So
I just saw you at Harvard graduation at the podium saying, and hold on a minute, and then kind of looking above their caps and gowns and saying, that very thing, Kendra, that's what we need. Exactly. It's about connection in a positive way. We do have connection, but a lot of it is not in a positive way. So you've chosen to be a giver, I take it.
yeah, I try to be. I think living your life selfishly is no way to live, frankly.
Why?
I mean, we are a community. No matter who you are in a community, right? Whether that be the place you live, whether that be related to your activities, your work, your school. We have several different communities that we are a part of, and communities that, for the most part, try to help lift us up, and people that try to help support us. So giving back to those people is very important. Giving back to the communities where you're from, your ethnicity, right? Like, I'm a proud Cape Verdean, and I would love to give back to that community as much as possible, right?
Yes.
So just giving back to the communities that helped you become who you are is very important.
You inspire me. Truly, you do. I can see you doing so much good in this world.
I hope so.
You're a blessing. But I still want to know, can you get me a great recipe for some cachupa? Huh?
You would have to ask my family for that.
Oh, yeah?
My aunt makes pretty amazing cachupa.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to have some. All right?
Yeah.
What a pure honor it has been to receive your wonderful vibes.
It's my honor. It's my pleasure to be able to come on this show and speak with you. So
Well, folks, there is the heart that's going to say thank you for joining us. And yes, be kind. I'm Phil Paleologus, along with Kendra Santiago. Thank you.